Hi, in the previous video, we learned how to sign into the server and view the output of the data that we submitted through the sample form. In this tutorial, we are going to learn how to create our own fairly simple data collection form. So to get started, fire up your browser and sign into Hoji. I am going to use the same email and password that I used to sign up. And my password goes there. So once you sign in, again, like we saw before, you're presented with a list of projects. Because this is a new account, there's only the sample project that we saw earlier, which is there by default. Okay. Now we are going to create our own data collection form. Now on Hoji, all data collection forms are created within the context of a project. A project is just a way to organize related forms so that you can essentially put them in the same bucket. Okay. So for this particular example, we are going to assume that we are doing a maternal health survey. All right. And we shall just ask a few questions and then build on this particular data collection tool as we advance in the next tutorials. Okay. So to get started, you click on the button that says Add Project on the bottom right hand corner. Give your project a name. So I'm going to call mine Maternal Health. Okay. And I'll make it access private, which means it's only people to whom I explicitly grant access who can submit data and view it and so on. If you make it public, then it means anybody with a Hoji account is going to have access without needing you to give them access explicitly. So I save that. And to open the project, I click on it. You can see the various properties of the project. By default, the project is unpublished, so until we finish adding the form and the fields, we can't publish it yet. And it is in test mode, which means you can submit up to 10 records. If you submit the 11th record, then the first record gets deleted. Okay. You can ignore the other properties for now. Now, I click on the button that says View Forms. Of course, we don't expect any forms under this project because we just created it. So we click on Add Form to add our own form. So I'm going to call this form Individual Questionnaire. Now, for the description, you can really put anything there to describe your form. But usually, I just like to put tap to open this form, because that's the instruction that the people using the mobile device are going to see. So it's sort of helpful for them. So there we are. We have created the form. So I click on the form to open it. Again, the form has a whole bunch of properties that we are not going to go through at the moment. But on the bottom right hand corner, there's a button that says View Fields. So I click on that. So this will show you the entire list of all your fields or questions or variables, if you may. And again, because this is a new form, the list of fields is empty. So we add our first field. So we want to know the name of the individual. So we say name. And you could type the text anyhow. You could say, what's your name? You could say name, whatever you fancy. So on Hoji, when you're creating a field, you just need to specify the question text and the type of the field. Okay. There's a whole lot of other properties you can specify, but we are not going to do that here. And usually, you're not required to specify those by default. Okay, they all have sensible defaults. So if you don't want to modify them, you can usually leave them alone. But later on in future tutorials, you will see exactly how to do that. Okay. So what type of data are you collecting here? It's certainly not categorical. It's not numeric. It's text. Okay. So you just want a single line of text for the name. You save that. You want to know how old the person is. So you say age. And that's definitely numeric and it's an integer. So you save that. Okay. Maybe you also want to know whether the person is male or female. So let's assume you're going to be interviewing both men and women for this maternal health survey. Now, in order to do that, you have to add your choices. So the male and female choices. So you go to choices. I'm going to open this in a different tab and add your choices. So the first choice is male. And we're going to code it as 1. And the second choice is female. And we're going to code that as 2. Okay. Then you have to group, because you're going to create a whole lot of choices here, yes, no, the counties, anything. You have to group the choices that are related together in a choice group. All right. So you go to choice group. you add a group. You add a group. So the group we're going to add here, we'll call it gender. Ignore the ordering strategy for now. And into gender, we are going to add the two choices that we just created. So gender is either male, which goes first, or female, which goes second. Okay. Now, if I close this page and I go back to where we were before and I refresh this page so it picks up the new choices we just added, then I can add a question or a field for gender, right? And gender is single choice. And the choice group for that is gender, okay? The one we just created, so that it provides the choices male and female. So I save that. I don't like the order very much. I want gender to come before age, so I simply drag it in between there, okay? Except that sort of affects the numbering. So this becomes 1, 3, and 2. So if I want this to be aligned properly, then I click on auto number questions, and then they're all, nicely aligned. 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, and 3. So there we are. We're just going to have 3 fields for now. And so the only thing left to do is to publish this so that it becomes available on the mobile devices. So I go to the project, which is maternal health, and you notice it's unpublished, so I click on publish. There you go. So in the next video, I'm going to show you how you can then submit data for this form that you just created through your mobile device. Thanks for watching.